Hello, I'm Bill Senyard. I am the pastor of the Movie Church, New Life Church at 5 Points. Today I would like to review the movie The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. This is the dream team of movies for this year. David Fincher, who directed Seven, he directed The Game, Fight Club, all excellent movies, all well thought out, well directed movies. He teamed up with the screenplay and writer Eric Roth, who did the screenplay for Forrest Gump. He was the writer of the movie The Good Shepherd. Again, wonderful pieces of work. And then Brad Pitt, who does an outstanding job. So this is the dream team of this year's films. Brad Pitt, I need to say this, I thought he did an excellent job in spite of the CGI, the computer graphic technology that does require him to limit his facial features and movements. Still, I think he does an outstanding job. But what I want to say is this: his accent is one of the best New Orleans accents that I've ever heard, ever seen on any film or any TV show. And I think it's to a credit that Brad Pitt is actually down in New Orleans helping out the Katrina victims. He does really, ideally, seem to be a person who cares for New Orleans. So that's really good stuff. Now, I think the best acting of the entire movie was done by Taraji Henson, who is Button's adopted mother, Queenie. I think it's just a brilliant performance by her, and I hope she gets the award. Now, Fincher, the director, brilliant. Here's a quote by Fincher, just to give you an idea of where he's headed. I don't know how much movies should entertain, he says. To me, I'm always interested in movies that scar. And he says that's what he loves about Jaws, that he's never gone swimming in the ocean again. It scarred him. And that's what he attempts to do, is to really make us feel something. You leave his movies and you feel something. He does a brilliant, brilliant job of that. That's what good directors do. And Button is no exception. It's designed to make moviegoers like us feel something, anything, as we leave the movie. We may not agree with them, we may not like how we feel, but he moves us to another place, and that's what a good director. So ultimately, Button is an impressionistic film about Kismet, that supposed mysterious, impersonal driver of all events, of all history, of all our lives. It's called fate, it's called karma, it's called predestination in other circles. So for Benjamin, the main character, and for the screenwriter Roth and director Fincher, it's ultimately about how do we humans deal with the hard script of our lives provided by this overarching Kismet. And Kismet has a sense of humor, even though it's impersonal, and Kismet deals out cards, not randomly, but very purposefully. And the key is, per Benjamin Button, is to not fight Kismet, but to accept it. There's one character, Captain Mike, who is a tugboat captain. He doesn't accept it. He's fighting Kismet. Kismet says he's a tugboat captain, but he thinks he's an artist. He wants to be an artist. And in the end, he dies as a tugboat captain, and his artwork, which happens to be tattoos, is destroyed. So Kismet is a joker. There's another great comic relief scenes where this one guy has been struck by lightning 7 times. And you see little images of that, which is another fingerprint of Fincher's work. And it's the idea is his lot in life was to get struck by lightning. And he's a guy now who lives in the palliative care home where Benjamin Button is raised, and he can detect when storms coming. And by the way, in the movie there's always storms coming. Here's repeated phrases. You never know what's coming for you. One character says we're on a collision course, whether it's design or there's nothing we can do about it. Another one says things happen when they're supposed to. Another one says nothing lasts. Everything runs its course. In the end, you just have to let it go. The main female character, Daisy, her dance career is ended by chance accident. But the idea is if anything in a whole series of events had changed, she would still be a dancer and not a part of Button's life. But Kismet had a plan, and Kismet wanted these two together. But not for long. There's always a storm coming. So the question in the movie is, how do you respond to this Kismet? You fight it like Captain Mike. You can spiritualize it like the Pentecostal Queenie, or like Button, you can just play the game. There's one image in the film, the hummingbird. Captain Mike goes on and on about the wing movement of the hummingbird, and it's one of the tattoos that's on his chest. And the movements, he says, is a figure-8 pattern, like infinity. And that's a good pictorial image of the film, is we start separated, and Kismet brings us together, but not for long. We always separate because there's a storm coming. And so the idea of Kismet is when you're brought together and you have an opportunity, you shake it up, baby. That's the Beatles song that's played. And you take advantage of it. You carpe diem. You don't miss those opportunities that Kismet gives you. And then in the end, you have to let it go because everything runs its course. Kismet's last word is death, and that's separation. Everyone ends up in diapers. So says Button. So I give it a 4-star. I think I think it'll win lots of Oscars. It's definitely going to generate lots and lots of buzz. I totally disagree with the philosophy of the movie, Kismet and fate and karma. I think, on the other hand, though, it does a great job of presenting it for us to chat about, to dialogue about. And so, on our website, www.themoviechurch.us, we are providing for you discussion questions if you'd like to gather in a group, if you've seen the movie and you'd like to talk about it further. I highly recommend it. When you go see this movie, one of the fun things is when you leave, go to a coffee shop and just ask people, how did it make you feel? You will find the responses very, very interesting. I'm Pastor Bill, the pastor of the Movie Church. We'll save a seat for you.